Good morning. Welcome to Üsküdar University TV channel. Today we're going to study for reading with Birmingham level students. So before reading, before practicing, I want to mention some strategies for reading. So I group the strategies as two. First one is extensive reading, intensive reading, and the second group is skimming and scanning. The first one is for choosing what to read, and the second one is how to read. So both of them have some different purposes and the benefits, but let's start with extensive reading. The definition of it: rapid reading of large quantities of material or longer reading for general understanding. So which means, actually, let me repeat it for you, this part is really important. Rapid reading of large quantities of material or longer reading of general understanding. This is the definition of extensive reading. Purpose of it: a lifelong reading habit, enjoyment, and general reading skills. So because we read large quantities, this actually brings us a lifelong reading habit or enjoyment. I mean, like novels, books, stories, long ones. So we mostly read them for enjoyment. And place and time of it, out of course. What do we mean for that? We mean out of class, for example, because in the classes we do not spend our time with reading long text like books or novels. And the second one is intensive reading. So let's start with definition again. The definition of intensive reading: reading in detail with specific learning aims and tasks. Repeat it: reading in detail with specific learning aims and tasks. Because you can understand from the topic, it is intensive reading, intense. So we read it for the details. What is the purpose of it? Why do we read for the details, in details? Why do we delve into the details? Because we want to develop our reading skills, vocabulary, and grammar knowledge. What is the place and time? As I told you before, we read it in the course, not out of the course. If we put them in the same table and compare them shortly, extensive reading, long text and books such as novels, but intensive reading, short text, for example, magazines, articles, or some short paragraphs. And the purposes: help students to develop reading fluency. As much as you read the long novels and stories, it actually helps you to gain reading fluency. But in the intensive reading, by reading short text, it helps you to develop reading skills, vocabulary, and grammar knowledge, because you will look at all the single words one by one. You will try to understand all the words and you will check the vocabulary and grammar. And 3, general understanding. Because we do not stop for each word, we try to get the general understanding, general idea of what we read. But in the intensive reading, because we search the details, we try to get the meaning from the text, not the general understanding. And the last one is we read what is being read. But in the intensive reading, it is mostly about linguistic components, for example, grammar structures or vocabulary. If we look at them for the examples, Harry Potter. So extensive reading, if you want to do extensive reading, you will read whole book. Okay, so 7 books of all series, but here in the intensive you can just read an article from a magazine and it is just 2 pages article. So here you can read all the information. Sometimes you can take notes, you can underline some specific information. But here in the book, in the novels, you don't have time to stop for each word to look up some words, maybe some possible unknown words, or some details. And for the second part, now we chose what to read. You can decide on extensive reading like novels to spend your time, which is really important in these days because we are quarantined now. But if you want to look for some details, you can choose some intensive reading materials like articles. So now, after we choose what to read, now we will look at how to read it. For that one, we have two strategies. One is skimming, one is scanning. So skimming is, the definition of it, reading is rapidly, I mean fast, in order to get a general understanding of text. How to skim? How can I do that? So, I can start with reading the title. I got a screenshot for you. For example, it's about coronavirus. So I want to get some information about coronavirus, and I clicked on a website and I want to get some overall information about it, not the details. First, I need to start with the title. How to protect yourself and others. So I'm in the right website, I'm on the right web page. And the second part is reading the topic sentence of the first paragraph. But do you remember what is topic sentence? Remember, topic sentence is the main idea of a paragraph. It states, it's generally the first sentence of a paragraph, and it states the main idea of the text. Here it gives some information about what kind of a disease it is. It is a pandemic, so it gives some main ideas. And the third one is read the subtitles. But what is subtitle? Subtitle is the titles under the main title. For example, on this page, as you clearly see, clear your hands often, avoid close contact, and cover your mouth. So it shows some subtitles. Remember the main title here, how to protect yourself and others. So now it is more specific titles. But here again there are some further information below the subtitles. If you look at the subtitles, you can find the parts that you're looking for. And of course, even if I don't tell you, you can just guess it. You can take a look at pictures. Sometimes even just taking a look at pictures briefly, we can get the idea of what we are looking for. For example, this cleaning hands and close contact and cover our mouth. Okay, so the second one, how to scan. Scan is, as I mentioned, it is for details. So you should know what information you are looking for. If you are reading a bus schedule, you may need to know at what time your bus is leaving. For example, as you see here in this chart, you may be looking for the first bus after 10 a.m. So you should know what you are looking for. So you are looking, in this case, you are looking for your time schedule after 10 a.m. So I directly go to the part after 10 a.m. And the second one, to scan, try to guess what the information you are looking for will look like. What I mean, if you are reading an article about cleaning your hands, you may want to find percentage of alcohol inside the hand sanitizer. In that case, you need to scan for percentages and numbers. As you see here, if you just look for percentages and numbers, you can find here 60% alcohol inside the hand sanitizer. And again, you can look for subtitles that might reveal the information you look for. So if you want to find the information about the percentage of alcohol inside a hand sanitizer, of course you should find cleaning hand. So you can find the information here. Now we will practice some skimming and scanning through a text in our book. What is our book? Skillful 2, and Unit 4, the topic is trends. So, follow us by the book. Now we have a video, but before watching the video, there are some questions by the book. What are those? How do you spend most of your money, especially these days? A bank transfer, cash, check, card, like using your PIN, and a contactless payment. I can hear that your answer is mostly contactless payment, especially these days because of the virus. So we don't want to touch anything, so we mostly use contactless payment. But let's see what is the answer according to the research.
Students at Sweden's Lund University can now pay for their lunch simply by scanning their hand at the checkout. The technology was developed by one of their students, Friedrich Liefland.
I got the idea at the supermarket about 2 years ago when I was standing in the long line. Then I had some. I'm thinking, what was it that took time in the point of sale? And I saw that the payment from quite inconvenient. And then I thought there must be a better way to pay with.
The process of paying by hand takes less than 5 seconds and is very simple to use. People register at a machine with their tax number and phone number. The machine then scans their hand and they are registered.
We needed to take the technology and connect it to the financial sector, to the bank accounts. That's been a long and hard process. And then we needed to find a way to package the product into a simple one so that people actually want to use it and find it convenient. The vein pattern in your palm is unique for every person, so it's a very secure solution. And it's not possible to extract the vein pattern. It's inside your hand, so it's not visible for the human eye or for ordinary cameras. So it's very secure. I've used it for a little over a year. It's really good. I don't have to worry about having cash with me to campus. So it's really handy.
I think it's very quick and easy. It's easy to use, and you can pay very, very fast. So I think it's very good actually. And I think it's safe. It feels safe when you're like leaning on your hand to the system and it's like reading your veins.
Could our own bodies actually be the quickest and safest way of paying in the future?
Yes. Now we have some questions for the video, some comprehension questions. So, the slowest part of shopping was choosing or paying. So the answer is paying, because people used to wait for paying after they get their food. And the second one, this technology scans your finger or your hand. Obviously, the answer is your hand. The system is secure because it links to your tax number, or everyone's hands are different. Yes, the first one is also true. It links to your tax number, but it is secure because everyone's hands are different. It said in the video, they are unique. The last one is the students think it is safe or it is not safe. Yes, clearly they think it is safe. So, before reading our text, as we always do, we will look at the vocabulary. So, let's take a look at the vocabulary, about the meanings of them, and then we will place them in the questions. So the first one, advertising. As you know, it is something that promotes a product. Consumer is the people who buy the product, and decade, it is 10 years, and demand is someone's desire, want for something, and importance, this is something you already know, and multinational company, it means international company, not just, it is not national company, and power, as you know, strength, and store is the place where we do our shopping. The first one, which companies have great blah blah teams who promote products well? As you see, it says promote. It means have great advertising teams. 2. Do you think large companies have too much something and control? So it is power and control. 3. How often do you buy clothes in a something, and how often do you buy them online? So there's a comparison between online and store. Buy clothes in a store or online. 4. Do you prefer small local stores or a big, so not stores, local stores, multinational company? And 5. Do companies know the importance of young customers today? And 6. Think about the last something. What things were popular then that are not popular now? I get that there's a meaning of time, so about the last decade. And 7, is the something who buys the product. As I told you, who buys the product, so it is the consumer. Is the consumer who buys the product. And the last one is, what products do young people want and demand more of than older people? Now, we will go on with reading the text. So we have 6 paragraphs. For skimming, remember, for skimming, we are reading the text, reading the paragraphs overall to get the general understanding, main idea. So in that case, in this activity, we will get the main idea and match the subtitles with the paragraphs. The first one is example, that's why we will match with 2 and 6. First one, the growth of online sales, the growth of large stores, Generation Y's future importance. What is Generation Y? And Generation Y is hard to influence. What is influence? Affect, impact. This is the example. A mall for a new generation of consumers. Even if we do not read the whole paragraph, do not read the whole single verse, we can get that it is about malls, because the second, even in the first sentence, it shows up the Dubai Mall and all the paragraph. Now let's go with the second one. Now you have 15 seconds to read and match with a heading. Time is up. As you see from the topic sentence, even with the topic sentence, you can find the information you need, because there's a definition of Generation Y. Generation Y is the name given to the group of people. Even that sentence is enough for me. So the answer is Generation Y. And paragraph 3, again, you have 15 seconds to match the heading. So, again, by just skimming, by looking at general understanding, I can get that this paragraph is about large stores like Walmart, huge multinational companies like Walmart. So it is the growth of large stores. Now it's paragraph 4. Now you have 20 seconds to match your heading. Time is up, and I can clearly see that in a paragraph, the first things show up to our eyes, the numbers and some company names. So here I can see the numbers and a company name, as you see here, Amazon. So what is it? It's an online shopping website. So it's about the growth of online sales. There are too many online words also in the paragraph. Fifth one, now because it's kind of long, you have 25 seconds to read it and match the heading. Yes. So this one is with the headings of Generation Y is hard to influence because it is about their attitudes to shopping, so they are trying to influence them, affect them. The last one, actually there is only one option left, but I'll give you time to check it. Yes. The older and richer Generation Y consumers become, even with the topic sentence, I can get Generation Y's future importance. Yes. Now, for the scanning part, we will read the paragraphs again to get the details. What do the following numbers refer to? Now we will follow the paragraphs to find these numbers, and we will find the answer for referring. What do they refer to? When we read these numbers, when I see these numbers, what comes to my mind? So the first one is 1,000,000 square meters. So let's go to the paragraph 1 again and find it. This is the first sentence. At over 1,000,000 square meters. So, and with over 1,200 stores, the Dubai Mall is huge. So I get that it is for the size of Dubai Mall. Now, the second one is 750,000. Again, let's check the first paragraph if it is there. Yes, it's in the second sentence. The 750,000 people who visit it every week can find almost any product that meets their demands. So this number is for the people who visit the mall. Third one, 15 and 28. Again, I need to check the first one, first paragraph, if it is there. I cannot see. In the second one, if it is there, no, it is not here. And yes, it's in the paragraph 3. I can clearly see. They grew from 8,500 stores in 15 countries in 2011 to over 11,500 stores in 28 different countries. So these numbers are for the countries. And fourth one, 800 million pounds and 114 billion pounds. Let's take a look at paragraph 3, if it is here. No, it is not here. So we will check here. Yes, I can see here, paragraph 4. For example, consumers spent 800 million pounds online in 2000 and 114 billion pounds in 2015. So I get that it is for online shopping, the amount of money people spend on online shopping. And last one, 1 in 3. So let's check paragraph 4. It is not here. In paragraph 5, it's not here again. Sorry. Yes, here. Instead, 1 in 3 read blogs to seek suggestions and reviews before deciding. But to get the meaning, I need to check the previous sentence here. A large portion of Generation Y claim they are not influenced by advertising. I get that now. Generation Y, in 1 in 3 in this generation, read blogs to search for suggestions and reviews before deciding what to buy. So, to sum up, as you see, to match the headings, I get the overall idea, to get the main idea of the paragraphs. I didn't read the details, I didn't check for details, just read it in a quick time and match the headings. Heading means, subtitle means the general idea. I can get that it works here for skimming. And for scanning, I had some details, some numbers. So I need to find the reference, the numbers, meanings in the passages, in the paragraphs. So I got back to the paragraphs and looked for the details, and when I found the detail, that number, I read that specific part and got the information. So this is the difference of skimming and scanning. So thank you for listening to me. This lesson is over.